You're listening to the audio production of A Rebel's Manifesto, choosing truth, real justice, and love amid the noise of today's world, by Sean McDowell, published by Tyndale Momentum. This book is read by Chris Abell. To my son Scotty, as you head out into the real world, I pray you will continue to care about truth, justice, and loving those around you. I could not be prouder to be your dad. Part 1. The Challenge. Chapter 1. Standing for what is right. Jana had never imagined she would be facing the decision that was before her today. As a former member of a high school youth group, she had learned much about making right choices in the areas of sex, love, and relationships, but this was beyond anything she had been tested with before. How can I possibly do the right thing, she wondered, when my college psychology professor has assigned me to review a porn film as part of my grade? Without this assignment, Jana's grade would suffer greatly, but she also knew that God wanted her to be sexually pure. What could she do in this situation? What would you do? Jaylene faced one of the toughest decisions of her life. Would she wear a U.S. national soccer team jersey sporting rainbow numbers to celebrate gay pride? Or should she decline and jeopardize her position on the team? You might not think this is such a big deal. After all, it's just a jersey, right? But because of her Christian faith and her convictions about God's design for sex and marriage, it was a big deal for Jaylene. After the Supreme Court ruling legalizing same-sex marriage, she wrote on her Instagram page, "I believe with every fiber in my body that what was written 2,000 years ago in the Bible is undoubtedly true. This world may change, but Christ and his word never will." What would she do? What would you do? These are not easy situations to be in. Can you imagine the pressure Jana and Jaylene would feel to compromise their Christian convictions? After all, both had worked hard for their success. They wanted to succeed in life and they wanted to honor the Lord. Is there a way to do both? Should they really be expected to suffer for doing the right thing? Doesn't God want them to be happy? In Plato's Republic, Socrates says, "We are discussing no small matter, but how we ought to live." This point is simple and powerful. The most important questions we ask are not about what we accomplish, but how we live. The most important questions are not related to what career we choose or what college we attend, but rather what or whom we live for. Life isn't about what we do as much as why we do it. Every day you face moral choices. Will I respect my parents? Should I post that on social media? How far should I go with my boyfriend or girlfriend? Will I use the preferred gender pronoun for a classmate? Should I join a protest for climate change, racial reconciliation, immigration, or some other pressing issue? The question is not if you will face a challenging situation like Jana or Jaylene, but when you will face it. How you respond to moral dilemmas reflects who you are right now and, in turn, shapes who you become. Will you follow the example of Jesus, or will you follow the pattern of the world? Our world often says to criticize and cancel others when they fail or when they offend you. Jesus calls us to rebel against this approach by lovingly standing for truth and justice. Jesus never compromised his convictions, but he was kind and gracious toward others. That's what it means to rebel today. Will that be you? Times are challenging. In 1958, a group of high school principals was asked the following question: what are the main problems among your students? The top answers were 1. Not doing homework. 2. Not respecting property, for example, throwing books. 3. Leaving lights on and doors wide open. 4. Throwing spitballs in class. 5. Running through the halls. While life was probably not quite that simple in the late 50s, the same question today would undoubtedly elicit a very different response from a group of high school principals. In my experience, students today fret about climate change, racism, sexism, the economy, managing a social media identity, terrorism, school shootings, and much more. Your generation faces greater moral challenges just one click away than any generation in history. Christian moral standards used to be considered good. Now the moral teachings of Jesus, especially in areas of sex.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?